Alright guys, so I made a video, I'm going to name it part 1, but this is part 2, of the network of finance, right? And I kind of explained a little bit in that first video, but we're going to make a second one so I can break down kind of the first one, right? Because this YouTube stuff's a lot. So I do have softwares and apps that I get my information, my information from YouTube most of the time. When I went through my YouTube phase when I was really young, I saw all the younger. I saw all the apps, and I still I'll go on TikTok and see my algorithm basically does it for me. I mean, everyone has a smartphone, and their smartphone has an algorithm based on your personality, and I basically have mine programmed where basically it gets me what I need, and I do not spend too much time on social media because most of it's a distraction, on these algorithms and stuff. But you gotta remember, some rich people made these algorithms to make them perfect. And the way I see it is, you're basically programming your own algorithm for your personality. I mean, if you see this ChatGPT stuff and NVIDIA and all this shit, where if you really look down, look and see where all this stuff's going, I'm pretty sure once the quantum computer shit is finished, like everyone will have just like how everyone has a smartphone that can do anything. I'm sure you'll just have a little. I saw this prototype device where you clip it on yourself, and it's I think it's called. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, which I probably don't know the name. But it's just an idea. It's like a rabbit. It's called Rabbit or something. But I don't know if it's powered by ChatGPT or if it's powered by its own thing. But I feel I mean, sooner or later, when I'm probably real old, there's probably gonna be a smartphone and Neuralinks and stuff that everything's gonna be it's even Facebook, Google, and all of them are talking about the same thing, and it's everybody, they want to get you in a metaverse, and yet everyone gets their own personal algorithm, which we already have, but the bandwidth, what Elon Musk's always talking about. He talks about how we're basically already cyborgs because we have a smartphone, and he talked about how a part of your mind is in the phone, in some other realm or some shit, and basically we're all gonna get personal algorithm devices and shit. I'm sure it'll get way better. You'll have a smartphone. You'll just have a little pad that you throw on your desk, and then you just talk to it, and it just fucking does everything for you because all the fucking internet routers will be connected to it, and your device and shit. It'll be Bluetooth, and all your fucking algorithms you made will all probably be put together. But this is dumb shit we're talking about right now. It's not out yet, and it'll probably come out. I'm just speculating. It doesn't. I'm not saying I'm right and it will happen, but based on what I'm seeing, because I'm in the millennial generation, and then Gen Z generation is I think what I'm in. But yeah, I was just talking about that. But the networks of finance, these are some good videos I want to make, and basically I want to talk about how yeah, I just want to re-innovate. I don't know how we got to the algorithm stuff. Oh yeah, I was talking about how yeah, back in my younger YouTube days, I kind of watched the first book that I ever read was the Think and Grow Rich book by Napoleon Hill, which is such a good book. And then I read the Rich Dad Poor Dad book, and then I've read a lot of books when I was 16 and 17. I did sports too, but I was so obsessed with these self-help books. Because me and I have a family member, we're the same, and I have a cousin. We were really into that self-help stuff when we were real young, and we were I remember the Get Rich book. We both fucking were trying to look for that book, and I remember we didn't talk about it, but I remember finding it at a thrift store, and he's like, "No fucking way, you found that shit?" And I was like, "Yeah, dog, I found it, dude." I read that book, the Get Rich book by Rich Dad Poor Dad. That book is so good. If you read that book, I'm sure there's better versions, and he made more books. But I read the original one, and it was so good. It got me on the right path of it teaches you how you want to invest your money. It gives you the most basic rundown. If you're just a bot in the world that just thinks college, doctor, blah blah blah, this and that, what you're usually taught is the way to go, which is fine. But from there, that Rich Dad Poor Dad book basically taught you what these people get into, and being rich is about buying and investing your hard-earned cash and money and capital into assets that make money. So that's why I kind of made this. So when I was younger, I read all them books and I applied them, and then YouTube went through this whole I guess it's just my algorithm, but it went through this whole like self-help, like it went from like Ty Lopez to like Andrew Tate, and like that guy is fucking nerve. I'm telling you, I'm not dissing him, but like it was bound to happen. Someone trying to get out of the matrix was gonna come out of somewhere. So if you just see the direction of where YouTube was going, coming from and going towards, someone was gonna do it. Someone was gonna pull it off. It just naturally happens, you know. It happens. Some people come across that information. So yeah, I just wanted to renovate, going part two. Like the reason I call it the network of finance is because like when you get in this field and you understand finance, it really comes down to you and your net worth or your network. Um, your network of individuals. So basically, when you learn, like when you go into self-help um, journey, you learn, you slowly progress, and you learn from the internet and from yourself, and you start to learn, like, yeah, self-help, eating healthy, staying fit, your finances, you put them all together, blah, 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 and you get your thing going. And you start reading books, and then you start to slowly, you come to the conclusion, like, yeah, I got to start a business. That's where it all goes down to. And you're like, yeah, I gotta start a business or I gotta invest in something. I can't invest in what the rich have until I'm rich or I get the funds to get rich. So you start with, oh yeah, starting a business. That's where it comes from. So like the reason I call it the network of finance because everyone eventually goes in that path. Like you just get steered into the path of money and finance. And finance always starts with yourself. You get in there and you meet other people and then you start to learn like what the rich really are into. And then that's when like I found the right people. I got myself a mentor. It naturally came. Eventually, everyone gets their mentor. If you don't have a mentor, that's good for you. But I don't know how you're gonna pull off because mentors are the ones that push you to keep going forward and usually help you. So I found my mentor, and this guy like I have a couple, but I have like two main ones I go to, and the one is like super like he just has like so many properties, so many rentals, and like I was already on this, and I just found him one day. Just I was just talking to myself, and I just ran into this guy, and I was like, "Who's fixing up a house?" And I was just like, "Yeah, man, I'll do some stuff for you. Like I'm kind of like into the same shit." And this was a long time ago. He's like, "Hey, man, I got a bunch of properties. If you want, you can fix them up." And I just started doing that landscaping shit. I was like, "Yeah." House flipping. I was like, yeah, I'll help you. I was already into that real estate mindset and looking into it. And these guys got me on the path, man. So when you start learning about it, slowly you start to immerse yourself into it and it starts to manifest from basically your thoughts because you got to think it, see it, and believe it first until it becomes a reality. Your mind